Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Welcome to the Loud Life Show. I am your host, Alvin. Folks, I am so happy to be here with you today. You can catch the Loud Life Show every Sunday at 4 p.m. here on WQMIX Radio. I am your host and life coach and motivational speaker. I am so happy that you are here with me on this journey. I'm happy that you are having a great day, hopefully, and I hope that you will have a great week as we move forward through our journey. So, let's just get right into it. So, the last few weeks, we have really been talking about self-discovery, self-actualization, trying to figure out, first of all, where we are. So we had to find ourselves. Then we had to define ourselves. Who are we? Then we had to enjoy who we found out we are. Enjoy ourselves. Then after enjoying ourselves, the next step is to augment ourselves. In other words, make ourselves greater. The things that we already are, we start doing more of. We start to build on who we are. We learn, we grow, we stretch ourselves. It's basically about making yourself a better version of you, and also making sure that you are being poured into by people who can make you better. So that's where we left off. So here at the Loud Life Show, our purpose is always going to be to make sure that we are doing what we need to do for ourselves to make us better versions of ourselves. Notice I did not say I want you to be better as it pertains to how I view you, because that's not my job and that's not my duty or responsibility. I am flawed and human just like everybody else. I'm on a journey myself. My job is to guide you through your own journey. So now that you have augmented yourself, the next thing I want you to consider on your journey is to celebrate yourself. Celebrate who you are. Celebrate where you've come from. Celebrate how you have survived the things you have survived. Celebrate the you that you have learned to appreciate. Now, why do I say this and why am I talking about it with such passion? I'll tell you why. Because too often we don't take the time to celebrate who we are. We don't take the time to celebrate why we are. We don't take the time to appreciate who we are. So I want you to start thinking about things from a standpoint where you celebrate the greatness that is you. There's nothing wrong with that. Now here's the problem. And here's what we have to unlearn. What I want you to unlearn is self-care is selfish. I want you to unlearn that. Self-care is selfish. Unlearn that. Self-care is not selfish. Self-care is necessary. You need to care for yourself. You need to give yourself attention so that you can continue to be a better version of you. Let me help you understand something. You have an inner voice, and the inner voice is always talking, but there are actually two versions of you that live inside of you. The inner voice that's talking, and then the part of you that is hearing what is being said. So that's why you can have an argument with yourself, because you hear what's being said, and you can either agree or disagree with it, and then you can listen to it, evaluate it, and keep it moving. Follow where I'm going with this, follow where I'm going, because what I'm talking about is actually psychological. That's why when you are talking to yourself and you saying something negative to yourself, you actually observe yourself saying that negativity, and then you take that and you turn that into action. That's what we all do. So if you keep telling yourself you're ugly and you're not worthy and you're not attractive and you're a failure and you're a disappointment, when your inner voice starts telling you all that kind of stuff, you hear all of that inside and then you manifest it and make it into reality. So what I want you to do now is to talk back to that inner voice that is telling you all the negative stuff. Talk back to it. Reject the negative stuff that is being said. And now replace that with the positive stuff. So now you tell yourself how worthy you are, how attractive you are, how beautiful you are, how successful you are. And then you start moving forward from there. And then take that next step and celebrate who you are. Celebrate the victories that you have in your life. Celebrate the accomplishments that you've had in your life. Celebrate the things about you that make you you. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing. People will make you believe that it is not okay to celebrate yourself. That can't be further from the truth. Now, when you take a victory lap, you can't run all day and all night taking that one victory lap. You can't do that because you got work to do. But it's okay to take a victory lap. It's okay to say, I did that well. It's okay to say, I'm good at that. It's okay to say, I'm great at that. It's okay to say, I really did a good job doing that. It's totally okay. Too often, we don't give ourselves credit when we are due the credit. We are waiting for other people to give us credit. We're waiting for other people to celebrate us. And then when they don't celebrate us, then we become disillusioned. We become disappointed. We become we start to sink into ourselves, and then we start letting that inner voice tell us negative things that aren't true. But what I want you to understand is that you should not wait for people to celebrate you or tell you what in your life should be or should not be celebrated. They don't have that right to do that to you. Are you hearing me? No one has the right to tell you you should not celebrate that. All victories are victories. I want you to stop putting sizes to your victories. They're all victories. So I don't want you to talk about small wins, small victories, big wins, big victories. See, because when you do that kind of stuff, then you are also minimizing the impact of what it is. A win is a win. I'll give you an example. I just finished talking about this with someone this week. If you are on a weight loss journey and the first week of your weight loss journey, you lose 5 pounds and you are incredibly excited. I lost 5 pounds in 1 week. You're incredibly excited. The next week, you lose 1 pound and you go, oh my God, I only lost a pound. Oh, what's wrong with me? I only lost a pound. Do you know how much a pound of fat is? A pound is a lot. But because 1 pound is not 5 pounds, we minimize that victory and say, well, I got a small win. No, you didn't. You have a win, period. It's not small. It's not medium. It's not large. It's not humongous. It's a win. So celebrate that. I lost a pound. I lost half a pound. If you're trying to lose, any loss is a win. If you are trying to study for a test and you are taking practice tests and you need to get 85%, and this particular practice test you got 83%, and you go, oh my God, I just don't know how I'm going to get to this 85%. Celebrate the fact that you got to the 83%. Because remember when you started and you were at 50%? Now you're at 83%. That's a win. It's not a small win. It's not a medium-sized win. It's not a huge win. It's a win. Celebrate that. Celebrate who you are and stop looking for outside validation. We have something in us called locus of control. So if you feel that you are in control of things, that's internal locus of control. If you feel that you are just reacting to the things around you, that is external locus of control, meaning that you feel that things around you have more impact on you that you can't control. I'm here to tell you that there are things in your life that you should have an internal locus of control. And one of those things should be your outlook when it comes to you. Let me give you a short story about myself, because like I said, I can talk about myself with plenty of authority, and I don't need permission to talk about myself from myself. So I took this same step, and I took an entire month, my birth month of September, to celebrate me. Each day I found something about me to celebrate. Each day I found something about me that I felt incredibly confident about. It was a challenge to find 30 different things to celebrate. But guess what? Because it was a challenge, I rose to the occasion because I was determined to celebrate something about me each day of the month of September. So the first couple of days, I did some immediate things that I thought about. But then the next few days, I had to actually sit back and really, 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 really think about what it's going to take to celebrate me. I had to really think about it, y'all. Really, really think about it. So I did. And do you know what happened? Each day that I found something to celebrate, each day that I found something to be proud of in my life, it boosted my confidence. It boosted my self-esteem. It made me feel great. I felt empowered. I felt uplifted because I was not waiting for someone else to tell me how good I should feel about me. I told myself how good I should feel about me. I had to sit back and figure out the things about me that made me feel good about me. I know that you probably have heard this song sometime in your life. Count your blessings. Name them one by one. Count your blessings. See what God has done. Count your many blessings. Name them one by one. Count your many blessings. See what God has done. Well, you know what? A lot of people just sing that song, but they don't necessarily practice what the song says. So let's equate that to you celebrating yourself. If you have to sit back and really, really pay attention to the things that make you you and the things that make you feel good about you, you will discover that there's more good in you than bad in you. Because remember I told you that inner voice talks to us. So we have two things in our head. We have the voice that's talking and we have the entity that's listening. That's what's happening. And then you start debating about it or you start believing the negative stuff that the inner voice is saying. So if you keep drowning out what the negative inner voice is saying by talking about all the positive stuff, then the negative talk will slow down. Eventually, the negative talk will stop. Because you will know that when something negative pops up, as it pertains to you talking about yourself, you won't even entertain it. You're not even going to let it affect you. You're not going to let it speak to you. You're not going to listen to it and have it have any validity in your life anymore. You know why? Because you've taken time to celebrate you. In celebrating you, you have found more reason to love you. When you find more reason to love you, you don't seek validation, celebration, or love from people who should not be pouring into you in the first place. Listen to what I just said. A lot of us, myself included, look for validation, celebration, and love from sources that have no business pouring into us in the first place. So then when we don't get that, we allow the inner voice to continue to tell us how horrible we are. But what we need to understand is everybody should not be speaking into your life. Everybody should not be speaking over your life. Everybody should not have a say-so in your life. So when you start celebrating yourself, you start realizing who is really there for you and who is not. Now, let's make this very clear. I'm not telling you to surround yourself with a whole bunch of yes people that are only going to agree with you, because that is toxic and that is dangerous. You don't want to have people around you who only gas you up. You want people around you who are going to challenge you and help you to grow. But those same people who challenge you and help you to grow also have no problem applauding for you when it is necessary, when it is needed, when it is warranted. You have to understand that there's a lot of people out here that don't want to celebrate you. They want to vilify you. They want to keep you oppressed. They don't want you to have any type of celebration, because celebration for you is intimidating to them. So they don't want you to celebrate who you are. Because see, let me tell you something about a hater. Haters can see what you can't see. Remember that inner voice that keeps telling you, talking negative to you? Well, see, their inner voice is telling them how awesome you are. So then they're having a conversation in their head about, well, I got to stop that. So then they start telling you negative things about you, because that's going to keep you oppressed. Ultimately, that will make you depressed. So you can't allow those things to continue to happen. You can't allow that. So when you celebrate you and you're used to positive self-talk, then anytime somebody comes into your face with negative talk about who you are, you can instantly reject that, because those people have no business speaking to you and speaking into your life in the first place. You'll also be able to recognize the people who speak into your life that only want you to be the best version of you that you can be. Because those people are going to speak to you with love. Those people are going to speak to you constructively. Those people are going to speak to you so they can uplift you. They're not going to say something to you to purposely bring you down. They're going to say things to you that are going to make you feel better about the journey that you're on. That ultimately they know that you will be victorious. Ultimately, they know that you will have something to celebrate. Am I making sense? We have to get out of this mindset that it's a bad thing to feel good about us. Because here's another thing that we do. We learn false humility and false modesty. So as soon as somebody gives you a compliment, you don't even know how to take it, because you're not used to celebrating yourself. See, when you're used to celebrating yourself, somebody gives you a compliment, you can hold your head up high and say, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I appreciate the fact that you took the time out to even say that to me. But a lot of times we don't do that. What we'll do is minimize what's being said to us. We'll minimize it. So somebody says, oh my God, I love you. That outfit you have on today is beautiful. And then you go, oh, this old thing, I done had this for months. They didn't ask you when you bought it. They didn't ask you how long you've had it. They complimented you. You know what? I heard you speak today. That speech you gave in class today was awesome. I just strung some words together. I just did such and such and such and such. You can't even say thank you. You know why you can't say thank you? Because you can't even give yourself the compliment to go, I did a great job on that speech today. I was prepared. I felt confident. I was ready to be in front of those people. The energy that I was getting back from them as I was talking was giving me energy and giving me life. I really felt I did a good job. Bravo. But we're so used to waiting for other people to tell us stuff. But then when other people tell us the good stuff, then we minimize that. You know why? Because we're not used to being celebrated and we're not used to celebrating ourselves. You should not have a problem giving a compliment and you should not have a problem receiving a compliment. Receiving a compliment does not mean that you are cocky. Receiving a compliment does not mean that you are arrogant or pompous or anything like that. It's a compliment. Receive it, take it, and then move on. Hear it, feel good about it in the moment, take your victory lap, move on to the next race. Give yourself the compliment. Give yourself what you deserve if you deserve it. Take your victory lap, move forward. The more you do that, the better you're going to feel about yourself. The more you do that, the more you'll be able to block out negative self-talk, negative talk from other people, negative energy from other people that are trying to bring you down and keep you down. You'll be able to recognize it for what it is. You'll be able to see it for what it is. You'll be able to discern it from no matter where it comes from. You won't make excuses for it. You won't make excuses for the people who are complimenting you. You won't make excuses for the people who are dogging you and giving them validation for dogging you. You won't do it because you're used to giving yourself the best. You're used to giving yourself what you have worked for and what you've earned because you're used to saying to yourself, good job. You're used to saying to yourself, I celebrate this about me today. I celebrate the fact that I'm a wonderful cook. I celebrate the fact that I am a nurturing individual. I celebrate the fact that I am a giver and I enjoy giving with no expectation of anything in return. I celebrate myself today because I'm a great singer. I'm a great dancer. I'm a wonderful entrepreneur. I'm a mentor to a lot of people. I celebrate the fact that I like to learn. I celebrate the fact, I'm just giving you examples. I'm not talking about myself. I'm giving you examples. What do you celebrate about yourself? What are you going to celebrate about yourself this week? This week you have 7 days starting today. What are you going to celebrate about yourself today? What are you going to celebrate about yourself as you go forward during the week? Every day, celebrate something different about yourself. And don't fall for the temptation of asking someone, what should I celebrate? Or telling someone, today I'm celebrating this about me. Do you think that's okay? That ain't got nothing to do with them. This is all internal. This is about turning off the negative self-talk and replacing it with wonderful self-talk. Remember, we talked about Mary J. Blige has this song, Good Morning Gorgeous, where every morning she would wake up and look in the mirror and tell herself, good morning gorgeous, because she didn't have people around her who made her feel gorgeous. She had to find that inside of herself. She started celebrating herself. I want you to celebrate you. It does not mean that you have to wait until you're perfect to celebrate something about yourself. Because if you're waiting for perfection, you'll never celebrate yourself. None of us is perfect. So don't wait until something happens where you feel like everything is lined up and now I can talk positive to me. No, start now. Start today. I don't care where you are in your life. I don't care where you find yourself right now. Start celebrating yourself today. Remember, you've already found yourself. You have defined yourself. You have enjoyed yourself. You have augmented yourself. Now it's time to celebrate yourself. Celebrate who you are. Celebrate what you're about. Celebrate where you're going. Celebrate where you are right now. Celebrate what's on the inside of you. What's on the inside will eventually emanate to the outside. But you have to take the step to start talking to yourself like you indeed love yourself. And for some people, that is easier said than done. They've spent so much time despising themselves, ridiculing themselves, being so hard on themselves that they don't know how to speak love to themselves. It's all about being self-aware. It's all about being truthful and honest with the love that you have on the inside of you. I keep getting notifications from people. I'm so sorry if that's coming through, but that's not important. What's important is that you celebrate you. What's important is that you are true to you. What's important is that you take the time to speak lovingly to yourself. And then the ripple effect is, as you speak lovingly to you, you will be more loving to people around you. And you'll also know how to receive love from the people around you. You will know how to receive love and take it honestly, earnestly, sincerely, and embrace it. Take this week to celebrate you. Take every day to celebrate something different about you. Notice I did not say celebrate your spouse, celebrate your children, celebrate your parents, celebrate your coworker. I said celebrate you. Celebrate you. You don't have to do it all out loud in front of everybody. You can. This is something internal. If you have a journal, write it down. If you journal, write it down. If you take notes on your phone, put it in your notes. Have it so that you can go back and look at it later. So on this growth journey, you can go back and say, I celebrated myself on this day. And on this day, this is what I celebrated about me. Why did I celebrate this about me on this particular day? The next day, I celebrated this about me. This is what makes me feel good about me. And then on those days that you might not be feeling as good about yourself, you can go back and have something that's going to remind you that you're worthy of love, you're worthy to be celebrated, and that there's nothing wrong with you feeling good about you. We are going to break this curse that makes people feel that they are not allowed to tell themselves how great they are. I hope all this made sense to you. I hope everybody got this. Celebrate you. Celebrate the you that you are, not the you that people tell you that you are, but the you that you feel that you are. Celebrate. Celebrate. Thank God for who he made you to be. It's only one you. You're unique, wonderfully made. Celebrate that. It's okay to celebrate you. And it's okay to tell other people that they should celebrate themselves. It's okay. We're on this journey together, and that's part of the journey. That's all I got for you this week. My name is Alvin Folks. This is the Loud Life Show on WQMIX. I love you, and ain't a thing you can do about it but love me back. That's all you can do. We're going to live loud. We're going to be the best versions of ourselves that we possibly can be. I love you, and I will talk to you next week here on WQMIX, Sundays at 4 p.m. Take care. One love.